packed. There's 16,500 people here tonight, so it's the biggest crowd that has watched tennis in New South Wales since the 1954 Davis Cup, when the US played against Australia. Leighton Hewitt against Pat Rafter. Although it's not going to affect the outcome of the Newcombe group, it's the first time that two Aussies have faced each other in a year-end championship for 31 years. And that's a long time. The only time this occurred previously was in the inaugural Masters in Tokyo in December of 1970. It's a long time ago. That's when Rod Laver defeated Ken Rosewall. That's when they played those short sets. It was 5-6, 6-3, 6-5. And that was a six-man round robin, the first one there. And that particular year, the American Stan Smith was the overall winner. So this is an interesting one. Leighton Hewitt, if he defeats Pat Rafter, will become the youngest player to have reached the pinnacle of the sport, to be #1 at the end of the year. And the youngest player prior to Hewitt, if he wins tonight, was Jimmy Connors. And he achieved the year-end #1 ranking when he was 22 years and 3 months. And that was a while back too. That was in 1974. So as Newk mentioned, this is Rafter's not going to give it to him, but I felt it was watching Pat was pretty painful last night. He hit the ball very well, but when he doesn't serve well and he hasn't got the bite on the second serve, he becomes very vulnerable. And he's got his work cut out for him tonight. And John Newcomb's made his way back. And Newk, this is going to be a tough one, but I think the crowd realise that Pat Rafter is probably injured and that Leighton Hewitt may win it.
Yes, well, of course, as we were saying just a while ago, Leighton, one of his strengths is his return of serve. As we look at Leighton here, aged 20 years of age, of course from Adelaide, currently #2 in the world, 763 points he has in the Champions race, 8 points behind Guga Kuerten, who lost this afternoon.
Yeah, and he's amassed in his young career over 4,000, that's in US dollars, 4 million US dollars, $4.75 million, and obviously the big payday here, if he goes through and he wins this year-end event, the Tennis Masters Cup, it's over $1.5 million US dollars, so he's looking at about 3 million Australian for the week's work here. But the players today don't think about the money. There's a lot of money around. Be it with endorsements or prize money. This is the richest event, year-end event that they've had, so they've got nice sponsors, and look at this crowd though. And obviously there's some cameras going, some flashes going off now. Tough to get them from that far away. But the great Pat Rafter, and what a lad he is. I just think that he feels that he had to play tonight, otherwise he lets down a lot of folks. Here you can see his arm is bandaged up in 2 or 3 places, and it's tough when you rely so heavily on your serve and you really can't go after it. If we mentioned the other night that his fastest serve the other night, Newk, was 177 kilometres an hour or something.
Yeah, I'd like to see him, and I would have liked to have seen him in the beginning of the tournament, perhaps stay back on at least 50% of his second serves, get into baseline rallies. He's you know, talking to Roche this morning, Tony's pretty happy with the way Pat's hitting the ball, except for his serve. He thinks he's playing really well. He's done the hard yards in training the last couple of weeks, and you know, he's fit and raring to go. Just keep your fingers crossed for the next couple of weeks when he gets to grass courts that arm will ease up.
Well, it was, as I say, it was sad the other evening when he was in pain and he had the trainer out on court after the first set and a couple of times during the second set. And it'd be interesting to see if we can pick it up tonight after he hit the first serve. If he hit the first serve and it was a fault, he put the racket immediately over into his left hand. And on the changeovers, which you folks don't see at home because of the commercial content, he spent more time massaging his right arm than did the trainer when the trainer came out. So a tough one. Head-to-head, Hewitt leads 2-1. Actually, Rafter does not particularly like to play against Leighton Hewitt because of the return of serve and the foot speed. And the last time they played, Rafter defeated Hewitt in Cincinnati. That was this year on a hard court in straight sets.
Yes, that was on the American summer circuit following Wimbledon. And
2 minutes.
It's interesting, at that time, Leighton wasn't playing particularly well. He didn't have a really happy time following on Wimbledon. going into the US Open, and his first couple of matches he was struggling, and then about halfway through the tournament he hit top form, and gee, how quickly things can turn around. All of a sudden he wins the US Open, and here he is a couple of months later playing a match which, if he wins, he'll become #1 in the world. There's Coach Roach sitting there intently watching and really feeling for Pat, because he knows that the guy's ready to go and he's playing well.
How many matches do you think Roachie's watched in the last 10 or 12 years with Ivan Lendl, and now with Pat, and there's Darren Cahill, Leighton Hewitt's long-time coach. It's just a lot of tennis.
Yeah, well, you get imprinted on your behind, this chair, you know, from sitting watching matches. We did 8 years with Lendl, of course, Roachie, and then we had, you know, the 7 years with the Davis Cup, and he was working with Pat and the other boys. Here we go. We got.
No, this is somebody in the crowd singing the anthem, and everybody else is standing up now. This whole stadium. This is fantastic.
Well,
the whole crowd.
That's Wazza over there, and the fanatics who come around.
That's fantastic. That's the first time I've seen that done. The crowd start into an anthem, and then everybody stands up and sings with them. Great tribute to the two players on court.
Well, as I was saying, that's Wazza and some of the fanatics that are out here tonight. They've seen them do that in Davis Cup matches, and everybody just stands up and sings. It's a great feeling when you're down there on court and that happens. It must be, the skin must be tingling down there with Leighton and Pat. Very emotional time. And as Kenny Sutcliffe was saying to me a while ago, Fred, who would have thought that Leighton would be playing against Pat Rafter to win the match and become #1 in the world?
Well, at this stage of his career, somebody asked me earlier, you know, whether you can compare Hewitt with the great Australian champions, with the Lavers, the Emersons, the Rosewell, the Hodes, the Newcombs, and a group of others. I said at this stage, no, he's 20 years of age. I said what you can compare him with probably is at this stage, you can compare him at this age, at age 20, you could probably compare him with yourself, or maybe Laver or Emo. But, you know, Rosewell and Hode were such great players at such a young age, at 17, 18, 19. And I think to make comparisons like that, you've got to wait until Leighton's career is over, and then you make the comparisons with the respective past champions.
Yeah, well, I was nowhere near as good as Leighton at 20, Fred.
No, exactly.
I was a late maturer.
Yeah, I know that. You still are. You're still trying to mature as we start this match with Pat Rafter is going to start it off against his Davis Cup teammate, Leighton Hewitt.
Pat Rafter to serve.
Wayne McEwen, another Aussie, is in the chair.
Let's listen. Love.
We might see Pat do a bit of that tonight, I think. Serve and stay back and try to work the point, get into the net as soon as he possibly can. He knows that while he's not serving at full pace, it's not really, won't stand up against Leighton's great returns.
The last time they played, we mentioned that Rafter won in Cincinnati on a hard court, 6-4, 6-3. Prior to that, in 1999, they played twice, once in Sydney, once in Scottsdale. Very close first set, and the scores were identical in both matches, 7-6, 6-1 to Hewitt. Hewitt's won 11 titles in his young career, 20 years of age. It's quite incredible. Started, his first win was in Adelaide, and he was 16 years and 10 months, and that was in 1998. 4 of his 11 titles have come in Australia. I think it's a smart play, three-quarter serve if he can close in and get volleys this height, Nick.
Yeah, once the ball is above net height, Pat's usually going to put that one away.
Yep. If he can get the ball up a little bit, then Hewitt has to create his own pace off the return. And in a way, that could possibly help Rafter.
Just
All wide and very close.
Important game, this one, for Rafter. I know it's only the first game of the match, but because he is serving and staying back, it's not a tactic that he enjoys doing. It's one that he's forced into doing. He wants to at least establish the fact that he can hold his serve by doing that.
advantage Hewitt.
Break point. The reason Hewitt can become #1 if he wins this match is the fact that Gustavo Kuerten, the #1 player in the world, lost his match earlier in the day to Yevgeny Kafelnikov. Kafelnikov hasn't lost a match. He goes into the semi-finals 3-0. There hasn't been much said about him.
Juice. Advantage Rafter.
By centimetres only. A wry smile from Pat.
Game point now, Rafter.
Let Husson.
Funny. Someone just yelled out, "Come on, Australia."
Opening game of the match goes to Rafter. And both these young men have got to be very proud of the fact that this is the largest crowd in New South Wales to watch a tennis match since 1954. It's a terrific thrill for them.
That's right. It was the Davis Cup Finals in 1954 at White City.
Thank you.
Plus on 26,000 people as we watched Darren Cahill taking a sip. Probably a little thought going through his mind. Come on, Leighton, just be a little careful out there. This is a hard match for you to concentrate in and play in. There's a lot going on. You know, Pat's got a little bit of an arm injury down the other end. You know you're playing for the #1 ranking in the world if you can win. This could very easily lose the plot out there.
He's just got to hope that those thoughts are not going on in his charge's mind, in Hewitt's mind. I don't think they are, though. Hewitt to serve.
Well, I'd be surprised if they're not going on in his head because they're realities, Fred, and they're there. But Leighton he's tough. He'll get through those things.
Leighton's been able to block a lot of stuff out since the US Open, and the confidence that he had going from strength to strength there. He's matured a lot. Love 15.
On.
The other thing that's going to be a little bit hard to deal with, Leighton, is that he knows how Pat plays, but this isn't how Pat normally plays. Pat's normally serving and volleying on every ball and all over the net, and suddenly he's playing against a Pat Rafter who's playing from the back of the court more.
Well, that's not going to do your arm any good, or your leg any good, or your head, depending on where he landed. But well, if you thought that Rafter might not give it his best here with Hewitt, there was really no reason for him to chase that. He wanted to get there. He did so. I'd go and test the net now, measure the net again. 30-15.
He might be auditioning for the Broncos in his tennis retirement. That's a good approach shot. Almost no defense against that. It skidded through so low. Rafter was so quick on top of the net. He had terrific net position.
It
was the right move and didn't miss by much. It was a 30-all point. Pressure on the Hewitt pass, but just missed on the approach. 40-30.
Game Hewitt's.
The other side of the coin, I think if it's strange tactics to have Rafter at the back of the court, Nick, but I think as this match goes along and Hewitt gets used to that situation, I think it's playing pretty much into his hands. 1-all.
That's a good shot. It's one that he's developed very well over the last couple of years. Doesn't go to the two-hander, he goes to the single-hander and slices it down low at the opponent's feet as they're coming into the net. Tough one to volley.
Oh. 15-all.
Excellent first volley. It was high, but she had to reach for it. A very tough position to volley from and get anything 15. On it. Look how far he is here. No body weight behind it, just an arm movement. Good job.
30-15. That's where it hurts, when you serve and volley on a second serve that doesn't have much on it, and you're playing against a returner such as Leighton Hewitt or Andre Agassi or Sebastien Grosjean, it puts you under the gun. 30 all. Well-constructed point there.
40-30.
It's the good. Saw that Leighton was going for the slice backhand, and how quick was he to move into the net, Fred? Take advantage of that. Like a sneak attack.
Game Rafter.
Good service game from Rafter. Good controlled serving, actually. 2-1 now. He leads opening set. Hewitt, he's got more twitches and more movements than a Swiss watch when he sits down, and he adjusts this and flicks the hat and turns the chain around and pushes the hair under the brim of the hat, and then he'll be ready to go. Look at that crowd. What a fantastic sight that is. Tennis Masters Cup here at the Superdome. First time it's been played in Australia. The 8 flags there representing the nations that are competing. The top 8 players in the world have been here, and we're through. We've got the 4 players in the semi-finals, and Leighton Hewitt won the Newcomb group. Evgeny Kafelnikov won the Rosewool group, and this young man is playing for the #1 spot in the world if he can win tonight.
Hitting his backhand very well, and as I said at the start there, Fred, Tony Roach was particularly happy with the way Pat's hitting the ball, except for that arm on his serve. That's a good approach shot.
Long 30.
It's the tougher one to play, the one down the line.
It's a great one at love 15. If you make it as he has done, a lot of pressure on Hewitt, because normally he goes and covers, gets into that backhand corner. So it's love 30 now. Talking about working on things, Hewitt's spent a lot of time working on that serve out wide to the forehand too. Occasionally you'll see him even try that on a second serve now. 15-30.
Could have come in quickly and volleyed that. Instead, he chose to let it bounce, wait until Rafter made his move at the back of the court. Here's the forehand. Now, here's a floating return. He makes a move to come in and says, no, I'll wait for it. Wait for Pat to make his move back there.
30 all.
Speed of foot. That's all that was. It wasn't a bad choice of shot from Rafter. Beaten by the speed of foot.
40-30.
There's the shot. Now, Rafter's in good position. He gets to it so early, he's able to cut it across in front of him.
I thought at least he would get a play on the next shot. He stood around that service line area, though, about a metre behind the service line, and left too much court open for Hewitt.
Hewitt. 2 games all.
Well, Hewitt holds. It's 2 games all.
It's a good game from Hewitt, wasn't it? He was down love 30.
Yep.
Rafter was really pressing him.
Love 15.
Oh, that's a great volley. I think he does that better than anyone on the circuit, or just about better than anyone I've seen. The little angled backhand volley.
15 all.
Down the line now. Now he's got to watch for the cross court. Cross there. I don't know how he cuts it that fine.
That's a Coach Roach shot. 15 all.
30-15.
Well, if it is a Coach Roach shot, the pupil has mastered the master.
Pupil's probably taken a lot of notice of the master.
All.
Leighton's about as big as that ball boy. He went over to get the towel from him and eyeballed him. 30 all. Well,
30-14.
Push that serve. That'll be painful, and that's the only double fault so far in the match. But it brings up a break point for Hewitt. Too good an angle from Hewitt. He saw Rafter creeping in there. It was a good play from Rafter, but too tough a shot from Hewitt. He achieves the first break of the match, 3-2. From Leighton Hewitt when he gets this one, creates the angle, and look where he hit that from, 3 metres from behind the baseline. An acute angle with a little bit of pace, and that gets him out in front at 3-2 as Wayne McEwen calls time. And this huge crowd, some 16,500 people, they said, this evening, and a few seats left for tomorrow, but again over 16,000 expected tomorrow, and some pretty good seats left for the finals of this year's Tennis Masters Cup on Sunday.
Gee, some good matches tomorrow too, Fred.
Yeah, definitely.
Hewitt against Ferrero. It's almost a toss your coin, and Kafelnikov against Grosjean.
15 love.
I give a very slight edge to Leighton against Juan Carlos.
That'll be a tough one, though, because he doesn't like to play against Ferrero. Ferrero has a 2-1. They've only played 3 times. Ferrero has a 2-1 edge over Hewitt.
He's beaten him twice in the last 12 months. Davis Cup in Spain last year, the finals, and at the French Open this year.
And Grosjean, obviously the form horse here as well, takes on Kafelnikov.
It's when you know that Rafter is pretty confident when he sets himself for the backhand pass and he can play it down the line or cross court. Looks very confident on that shot. You know he's in good form when that's in good touch. Also the forehand pass, that's another sign.
Tough overhead to come back that way. Normally when you're going sideways to the ball there, as Rafter does here, that you play the angle. This is a tough one to drag back down the line. Well done. Look at the scissor steps. Good balance.
Of Hewitt's game has really picked up in the last 18 months. As a matter of fact, in Brazil this year in Davis Cup in the doubles match, he and Pat played together. And I thought that Leighton was the best player on the court in that doubles match. He volleyed fantastically.
Break point, Rafter to get back. That'll do it.
Game Rafter.
Well, that's the object. The objective is, if you lose serve, to try and break back straight away, and Rafter has done that. It's all even at 3-all. Getting back that Grosjean-Kafelnikov match just for a second, that'll be a good one, because if you've been listening, Grosjean beat Kafelnikov in the final of the Tennis Masters Series in Paris to qualify for this event in 5 sets. So Kafelnikov wants revenge.
15 love.
Serve just at 118 kilometres. That's basically a second serve kicker.
First love.
Have a look at Rafter's net position here. Is he covering the down the line? Yeah, he was moving that way, so full credit to the shot. Threaded the needle.
(14-15).
Well, when he's able to get into the net, or he feels as though he's got the short ball, Rafter has applied a lot of pressure. The approach shots have had a bit of stick on them. Well, they've had, when he slices them, they've stayed low. 40-15. Tactically a great point there. He saw the slice coming from Hewitt and moved forward, knocked it off. 4-3 Rafter, first set. One, and that's what that young fella thinks. It's so great that a lot of youngsters out here watching these two men play, and what great role models they are for Australian tennis. The spare seats you can see around there with the lights on, that's basically the a lot of the corporate suites and some of them haven't been sold down to the far end of the court, so they're about the only vacant seats. As there are 16,500 people here. As that young fan said, Leighton Hewitt #1. If he wins here, yes, he's serving at 4-3, 3-4 in new balls.
Love 15.
Well, he's got some problems here, Hewitt, because Rafter's taking advantage of everything short, moving to the net. He's moving so well too. It's very hard to pass him.
Well, the approaches have got a bit of stick on them, haven't they? That one was good. It stayed low.
15 on. Birdie 15.
Good serving. 2 good points from Love 15 down. Has that ability when he's behind to come up with something special.
Well, he did it once before, didn't he? At Love 30 down under a fair bit of pressure.
He's actually outpowering Hewitt Rafter from the back of the court in those rallies and getting tremendous depth. Hewitt's finding it hard to come up with his own depth and own power. I think what Hewitt's going to have to do in these rallies is try to increase his own power and his driving from the baseline.
30 all. That's a bad miss. He'd be a little disappointed in that because the Hewitt shot was down the middle of the court and wasn't very deep, didn't have much on it. You see Patrick there saying, well, maybe I should have sliced that one. 40-30.
Game Hewitt's.
Well, a couple of unforced errors there. Crowd just a little bit of applause for that one.
Thank you.
I think the crowd are probably sympathetic to Rafter tonight. As Wayne McHugh and us with the mobile phones to be switched off.
I don't really pick that, Fred. I think it's a little bit neutral out there. I think a lot of people would like to be here witnessing live Hewitt becoming number one in the world.
Long. Let's serve.
He's definitely having a little bit of a hard time, Leighton, adjusting to Pat's different style of play. So he's practiced with him so much, Fred, that he's used to receiving his serve coming at about 180, 187k, and it's coming through at about 155k. Not quite timing the ball on the return.
40 love.
Well, again, if he's not timing, as I mentioned earlier, if he gets the reply, this one hits the tape. But if he gets the one above the net or anything around about waist high or higher, he's going to make some terrific volleys. They're pretty easy from there for him. But this is the one that's the problem. If he gets it down low, that one would be a problem for anybody.
Yeah, I think he's early on a lot of returns. I think he's swinging and the ball's not quite there.
40-15.
$40-30. Juice.
And that's 2 forehands. Juice. That's 3 forehands in a row. He had 40 love, remember, in this game. Rafter, 40 love, and then a brilliant cross-court return for a winner, 40-15, and now 3 bad unforced errors on the forehand gives Hewitt a break point opportunity again.
Juice.
Beautiful volley. Nice placement. The off backhand volley. That's a tough one to play. He does it as well as anyone.
Well, again, it's up round waist high, isn't it? You don't find Rafter miss too many of those. Juice.
Good return. Jumped all over that one. Seems to be losing a little bit of power in his arm in this game, Rafter.
Break point.
Just
again, he hasn't been going on for very much in that one. Right on the paint, so it slipped through a little bit, but it was only at 150k. Juice.
advantage Hewitt.
Well, how many times can you go to the well?
Picked the direction of the passing shot, but see how quickly Hewitt was taking off across court for the volley.
Break point for the third time in this game. 120 kilometres, that one.
Just
good deep second serve.
advantage Rafter.
Game point Rafter now. He led 40-love in this game, remember?
Game
He's done it. Led 40-love and then two awful forehands, and he struggles out of it. And you can't say because of power serving, but consistent serving. 5-4 for a set.
Tonight's Stock Market Report, brought to you by Honda Civic.
The resources sector rally came to a sharp end today as oil prices plunged. The All Ords lost 18 points, mainly thanks to a 3.4% fall on the Resources Index. BHP was the most spectacular loser, dropping 76 cents or 7.3%, as it gave back about half the rally it had enjoyed this month on better copper prices. Heading in the other direction, News Corp up 32, Qantas 10.
Mega Parts 5-year birthday sale. 5 litre Valvoline XLD Plus $10.95. Buy 3 Gabriel shocks, get 1 free. 20% off Ryco filters plus more bargains. This weekend, Mega Parts, Metcalfe Street, Warners Bay.
Looking for a bigger return on your money? Right now at Hunter United, you can invest as little as $20,000 for just 9 months and get a big return of 4.55% per annum.
Your advantage.
So lob into Hunter United for your serve today.
Game, set and match.
At the Superdome. Leighton Hewitt now is having a few problems with Patrick Rafter. He's down 4-5, serving to stay in the first set.
Lot 15.
So quick to get in the net. He's done the hard yards in training, Rafter. He's moving well, volleying well, hitting his ground strokes good.
$15 all.
It's the second ace for Hewitt tonight. That was smart play actually by Hewitt. He dug that one out, but he played a lot of control in that stuff. Didn't go for the big passing shot, set it up until he had the one he wanted.
30-15.
Yes, this one here, he just got it back into play and now back down at the feet. Doesn't try to hit a winner. Sets himself up for the next one. I think Hewitt's got to try to increase the pace of his ground shots. He's not hitting the ball hard enough. Rafter's all over. He's giving Pat plenty of time to play his ground shots and therefore being able to get on the attack and get to the net.
30 all.
Well, Rafter picked that one. Happens when you practice a lot with somebody and he knew exactly where that second serve was going and it was dealt with. A very crisp hit on the forehand wing. 30 all.
$40-30.
$40-30.
Just
Took a piece of the line. That's always going to be open down there. If you can get it down there, you'll see Hewitt after he serves this ball. You see his weight shift a little bit there to the left, looking for the cross-court return. Down the line return from that court is a hard option. It'll win you the point if you can make the shot.
advantage yours.
Boy, on the big points in this game, the 30-all point, and then again on that juice point, a couple of easy misses from Rafter. Game point, Hewitt. It's another one that missed by 2 or 3 meters.
5 games all.
Five all, first set.
We'll see if Hewitt can start getting a little bit of timing going on the return of serve. He really is a little bit confused at the moment. He's feeling he's swinging and the ball's not there. So used to it coming through a bit faster. Actually about 25 to 30k faster.
Love 15.
Stepped in a little closer to that one.
We also waited for it. He wasn't over anxious. You see, he held his racket back until the ball actually arrived at him. Got a little bit of body weight into the shot.
Love 30.
That's the first forehand he's really gone after in the baseline rallies, increased his power.
Chance now at love 30. Darren Cahill, he's letting the beard grow again this week.
Love 40.
Yes, he timed both of those. The first point of the game down the line, and this one the off backhand, mixing it up nicely.
Three break points now. Oh boy. Couple of winning returns on the backhand from Hewitt. One down the line, one cross court, and then a net cord. So he achieves the service break to go to the front 6 games to 5. He's ripped the bandages off after that last service game. Didn't get much on the serve. He lost the service game. It's 6-5 now to look at the size of these ice packs. And he's put those on the arm to try and just freeze the arm a little bit. And he's down, he's in trouble now, but he's taken the bandage off. And it is Leighton Hewitt serving for the first set.
Love. Love.
30 love, 2 points from the opening set.
Late for serve.
I don't think either player heard that. Been a few of those during the week, hasn't there?
Yeah, they're supposed to register on that electronic machine, and sometimes the players don't trust that. And that registers up on the chair, so it has to be called a let from the umpire, the chair umpire.
40 love.
Smart serve out there. 3 set points for Hewitt. Nerves there, double fault, set points. Patrick Rafter knows what it's like to be ranked #1 in the world, and that's what Leighton Hewitt is trying to do. Rafter reached that spot in July of '99.
Let's for serve. Game first set, Hewitt, 7 games to 5.
From the net, Hewitt wins the opening set, 7 games to 5. First set, and there you see Hewitt looking up at Rafter as he comes to the net to knock off the volley for the first set. And there are the stats, New.
Yes, the points won on second serve, only 38% by Rafter. It was up around 50% in the beginning of the set. It tailed off as Hewitt started to return serve better. Winners in favour of Hewitt, 17-13, and unforced errors, 16-7, also in favour of Hewitt there. Those two percentages, the winners and unforced errors, they were reasonably level halfway through the set, and gradually as the set went on, Hewitt's forged ahead, and that's what happened towards the end there. No aces for Rafter and 2 for Hewitt. Only 51% of first serves into play for Hewitt, Fred. It's
well, we've always
doesn't
talked
get
about
a lot,
that,
does he?
Yeah.
Thank you. Second set,
We've
Rafter
talked
to
about
serve.
that for the last 6 months. He seems to get through matches, and if he could pick up that percentage, it'd make it a lot easier. A few more cheap points on serve. He has to work so hard for points.
Yeah, if you proof of that is on his first serve he wins 74% of the points. On his second serve he only wins 50%.
Love 15. Love 30.
Not a good start. First game, second set. Love 30.
Fifteen, 30. Fifteen, 14.
He's hitting the ball a bit harder now, Hewitt, isn't he? Especially off the forehand.
Last one now gives him a couple of break points in the opening game of the second set.
Game Hewitt's
Double
first game,
fault.
second set.
First game of the second set goes to Hewitt, and he won the first one 7 games to 5. Not a good sign. Tony Roach there, looking a little concerned. But as Nuke said, he's got his man fit. But you're going to have to do something with the arm. The ice packs are on it again, and no, not this changeover, because after the first game of the set, you can't sit down. Play is continuous.
Love.
Good backhand, this one from Rafter, nice and deep. Set himself up, was probably just a little bit slow, step or two slow getting into the net. Trying to volley from half court. It's always a tough position.
Nines judge just ducked straight into that one, hit him in the head.
When you prepare for those smashes on the bounce, you just keep a little bit of an eye out for your opponent and which direction they're moving. You've got to be careful you don't take your eye off the ball at the same time.
Rafter broke a string in that last rally. So he goes to the bench to change rackets. 30 love.
Great rally. That's about as good as it gets. Both players all over the place, like acrobats. Down low, good job picking this one up. Leighton, how quick is he to get in there? And that was the old sky hook, wasn't it, that he hit? But
yeah.
Didn't he turn around quickly?
He is fast, yep. 40 love. Hewitt to consolidate this early break.
Hewitt.
Does so with an ace.
4 games
Hewitt
away
leads
from becoming
2
number
games
1
to
in the
love.
world.
3 aces in the match. 7-5, 2 love.
If he does win this match, I believe there'll be a presentation on court afterwards of the
Crowd trying to get behind Rafter. You know the situation.
15 love.
Very sympathetic crowd for him. We love you, Pat. Waves the racket.
all.
He says, you put me off, mate.
It's not as bad as what the guy yelled out to Goran the other day.
Yeah, that's right.
Goran, I want to have your baby.
That brought a smile to Kafelnikov and Ivan Izovich, didn't it?
They couldn't play for about a minute. Cracked up. He sizzled that one. Yes, there was more power left in the forehand. In the first set, he didn't crack too many forehands. Now he's one across court. There's an opening down the line. He knows how fast Pat is. Really flattened out on it.
15-30.
Oh, what a pickup. Boy, Hewitt has some counter-punching, doesn't he? And what about Rafter's offensive play at the net? Forced back here. Now coming into the net again. That is some volley from that position.
30 all.
Oh, he got so excited he went after his first serve. It hurt a bit. It was 185.
That's the fastest serve he's hit tonight.
Just missed over the baseline.
30-40.
Amazing what a rush of adrenaline will do, isn't it? You get so excited you forget your arm's hurting.
Trouble now. One break for Hewitt. He's leading 2-love in this set, and he has a break point opportunity to have 2 service breaks in the second set.
Game Hewitt's.
Can't believe it, Rafter missing that pretty easy volley.
Hewitt leads
The
3
crowd
games.
are just hushed at this moment. 3 games to love. Hewitt 1 set to love.
At Ford dealers, we had the Laser LXI sedan from only $19,990 or $13.50 a day. With air conditioning and driver's airbag, power steering and CD player, all standard. The Laser LXI sedan also comes with free power pack, including free remote central locking, free power windows and power mirrors. So get into a feature-packed Ford Laser from only $19,990 or $13.50 a day.
By popular demand, Masterton Homes' twin bonus offer continues. It's your choice. Pay $2,000 extra and receive a bonus $10,000 of fabulous inclusions. Or pay just $5,000 extra and receive a bonus $19,000 of inclusions. Turn your new home into a mansion with Masterton Homes' twin bonus offer. Visit your nearest Masterton Homes display village today. Hurry, strictly limited offer.
That's the leaderboard as we stand at the moment. Curtin is still on top. Leighton Hewitt is 8 points behind. He wins this, he picks up 20 points, so that puts him in front. Agassi's gone. Kafelnikov plays in the semis tomorrow. Ferrero, Grosjean. But nobody can catch our own Leighton Hewitt. And if he does win this match, we're going to have a presentation on court where they will give him the trophy for becoming #1 in the world. He will be the youngest player to achieve that ever. And the one man before him back in 1974 was James Scott Connors. So what a thrill for Leighton Hewitt if he gets through this, and it looks as though there's not much chance that he will not. 7-5, 3-love, 2 service breaks. So stick around for the presentation to Leighton Hewitt for his achievements for the year 2001. Hewitt to serve, 3-love.
Love 15. All. $30-15.
30-15, 3-love.
All.
Oh, he was right on top of it too.
40-30.
Tried to nail it.
Tried to put it away. There was no coming back, but And as he took the big stretch and the big lunge, opened the face of the racket. 40-30.
Juice. Let's for serve.
No mistake on that backhand volley. Rafter
Advantage, Rafter.
After this return of serve, he wasn't really coming in after it, and he saw that he was going to be in quite a good position, and Hewitt had taken one hand to the racket and was going to slice, so he moved in so quick.
Great point, Rafter.
Juice.
He's just looking at Pat's right arm, Fred. I mean, he's done so much work on that arm. It is so strong. It's hard to imagine something can go wrong with it.
Advantage, Hewitt.
Cross court again.
Stays down very well on that shot. Game point for a 4-love lead.
Game, Hewitt.
4 games to love for Hewitt. There's 16,500 people here tonight. All will see
Hewitt leads. 4 games
and
to love.
remember it for a long time. Leighton Hewitt become #1 player in the world.
New balls. He gets as much power on this shot as anyone I've seen, Rafter. The backhand smash. He gets his side around to the net and does it so easily.
Dirty love.
Good backhand volley close to the lines and excellent net position. Hard to pass when they get a good net position.
30-15.
Lara, Pat's girlfriend, and his parents, Jim and Jocelyn, celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary this week. Also got a couple of his brothers, Pete and Steve, here.
On the line.
40-15.
He racked up his first ace on a second serve too.
40-15. Rafter pressing, fighting to get on the board.
(40-13). Game Rafter.
Good closing volley there for Rafter. He holds serve, but it is all Hewitt. 4-1 in the second set. Rafter still got everybody on his side here. He had to change the shirt.
Time.
The ladies in the crowd whistled, and he just had a big, broad grin on his face. But he knows that he's in all sorts of trouble here. Tennis Masters Cup, it's live from the Superdome. Big crowds here throughout the week. Some negative press they can't say too much about tonight. What a crowd, the biggest crowd since 1954 to witness this. Lleyton Hewitt, an opportunity to become a #1 in the world.
No, Lleyton, there were new balls the last game.
It's just
asking if there were new balls. Doesn't matter how good you are at concentrating. I don't care. You're 2 games away from becoming the #1 player in the world. It's pretty hard to keep your mind on the job.
Yeah, sneaky little tactic there from Rafter.
He's done a few of those tonight. As soon as he sees the return short and Lleyton goes to the single-handed slice, he charges in.
Oh boy, that was an easy one.
30-15.
Scratch your head for that one, Patrick. He was sitting right on top of the net.
He doesn't miss too many of these.
Tried to play the little angle, keep it short. 30-15.
Flat for serve. (40-15).
The parents, Glenn and Cheryl Lynn, ever-present agents. He's, I think you're right, Nick. I think he might be thinking of it. Here he is. He's at 4-1, and that was a very nervous forehand. It missed by a metre or so, and just a big smile on his face saying, hey, come on. 40-30.
Total winners for the match, 23 for Hewitt and 22 for Rafter. Very even there. It's the unforced errors
But
a
all
big difference.
most of those have come from the net, where Hewitt's done most of his. Although he's been to the net a few times tonight, Hewitt, but he's done most of his work from the baseline, whereas Rafter's winners have come from the net. That's why he has that many of them.
Unforced errors 26-9. 26 from Rafter.
Advantage Hewitt. Juice. Let the serve. Advantage yours.
It's his fourth ace for the match. Brings up a game point. Trying to extend that lead to 5 games to 1 now.
Game Hewitt.
And he has done just that. The last 2 times that Hewitt has beaten
Hewitt
Rafter.
leads 5 games to 1.
Just like tonight, it was a very close first set. The last 2 times 7-6, 6-1. Looks as though tonight is 7-5, 5-1 now.
Love. To love.
And the boxing kangaroo flags, and so Pat Rafter trying to get back into this second set. 30 love.
Love.
Oh, that was a set-up volley. Chance to finish off the game.
Game Rafter.
Rafter with that wide serve, holds once more. It's 5-2. Hewitt, 1 set to love.
Hewitt leads 5 games to 2.
It now is to hold serve here, and I hope you stick around for the presentation. 16,500 people, as we mentioned, here tonight, and if Hewitt does happen to get through here, there will be a presentation on centre court to honour him for finishing #1 in the world the year 2001.
Be heady stuff, won't it, Fred? And then have to come out tomorrow in the semi-finals and face Juan Carlos Ferrero.
No easy task. Juan Carlos Ferrero has a 2-1 edge. So join us in both those semi-finals tomorrow, starting live at 2 p.m.
15 love.
Felnikov trying to get revenge against Grosjean. That'll be the first match. And then Hewitt and Ferrero to follow that. Thirty love.
30 love.
Good volley, well put away. A high backhand volley. Topspin brought it down. Have a look at the spin on this ball as it goes past Hewitt at the net. Dipping so quickly it came down into court.
Rafter making him work for it. 30 all.
30 all.
Match point.
Another sneak attack there, Fred. As soon as Hewitt went to the slice backhand, Rafter was so quick to move into the net. Couldn't do enough with the volley, though.
Didn't quite get in close enough.
The crowd
sensing this moment,
stamping their feet. Everyone, excitement gathering. 1 point away from being the #1 ranked player in the world. Oh, topspin, backhand volley. Toughest shot in the book to play.
Juice.
Don't try this one in your Saturday afternoon matches. You might break your wrist.
Juice. Match point.
Advantage Hewitt.
Got to be some thoughts going around in his head. And now they're going around in his mum's head there, Cheryl Lynn. Can't believe it. If I win this point, I'm #1 in the world. Has to be thinking that.
Tough to get there.
Juice.
Juice.
Advantage Rafter.
There's such an excitement now amongst the crowd. It filters down into the court, and if it enters your psyche, it becomes really hard to concentrate.
Break point now. for Rafter.
Flat for serve.
Flattened out on it again. Second time he's done that in the match. Really scorched it down the line.
Look at that. There's
Jim and Jocelyn Rafter there and applauding the shot from Leighton, but I think they're applauding the overall rally. It was you're not going to see a better baseline rally than that. We saw a little bit of everything.
And we saw a come on. We haven't seen too many come-ons tonight. Juice.
In. Break point again.
Advantage Rafter.
You're one of my best mates, Leighton, but I'm going to make you work for it.
Break point.
Juice.
Match point number 3.
Advantage Hewitt.
Oh, he went for the big one down the middle. Can't finish it off. Yes, Lyndon Hewitt there looks like nervous, as if Leighton's facing love 40 down, match points against him.
Match point number 4.
Advantage Hewitt. Juice.
The saga continues.
Quick question, Fred. That let serve of Leighton's the first one. It hit the net and went underneath Rafter's feet. He had to jump out of the way. What if it hit him before it bounced?
Yeah, it's all over.
Doesn't he lose the point?
The parents, this is incredible.
Doesn't lose the point. He gets 2 serves.
Flat for serve.
I knew that. I was just trying to trick you, Fred.
I know how you know the rules.
Let's for serve.
Well, this is slow agony, isn't it?
Let's try match point number 5.
Advantage Hewitt.
Spin it in, mate.
Juice.
Another match point.
Advantage Hewitt.
How many can you say, Patrick?
I think this is another 6, isn't it?
I believe so. Along with you and Roche and the rest of the team. And as you mentioned, it's a great effort as Jeff Pollard, the president of Tennis Australia, comes over to congratulate him. And a great effort that he goes up against Pat Rafter to get to this position at the end of 2001. Still, the work's got to be done yet, though. It's the semi-finals, and we now go down to Karen Pratt for the presentation.
Well, Lleyton Hewitt, the first Australian to become the world #1 on home soil and the youngest ever. And to celebrate Lleyton's achievements, we're welcoming out on court the President of Tennis Australia and the Vice President of the International Tennis Federation, Jeff Pollard, and the Chief Executive Officer of the ATP, Mark Miles.
Thank you. Lleyton, Pat, how perfect is it that you guys got to play this historic match tonight in front of the biggest crowd to see a tennis match in Australia since 1954? This is really Lleyton Hewitt's night, but we wouldn't be right not to say to Pat Rafter, there's a lot of love in this building for you, and I'm glad you made him earn it. In the history of the ATP rankings, only 20 players have managed to be #1 at some stage in their career. A guy named Rafter and a guy named Newcomb are among them. Rarer still is the elite group who've been #1 at the end of the year. Lleyton Hewitt tonight, by virtue of this win, becomes the winner of the ATP Champions Race 2001 and the world #1.
Leighton, congratulations. You didn't want to think about it, you didn't want to talk about it while you were trying to achieve it. Now you've got it right there in your hand.
Yeah, you can talk about it now.
Thank you. I want you to talk about it.
No, it's an unbelievable feeling. You know, I didn't want to play Pat tonight. You know, he's probably my best mate on the tour, and you know, it's extremely hard to come out here and you know, play for everything, and then you know, to know that you have this on the line as well, and you know, everything could go my way this whole week with all the matchups. It's you know, incredible, and you know, for me to do it at the age of 20 and to do it in Australia, you know, you couldn't have written a better dream.
How do the nerves out there, the tension of it all, compared to the US Open?
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, I felt more nervous actually tonight for some reason. Yeah, I was struggling early. I wasn't hitting the ball that clean. I got better as the match went on, and yeah, it's tough. I think you know, coming into this event, all I wanted to do was give everything I had, and you know, I knew that if I was good enough to win the tournament, I thought that you know, I was going to be able to win this. And you know, the way that it turns out, a round robin match, and you know, if I won that, I'm #1 player in the world. It's a totally different situation to what I was planning, but you know, it's nice.
Do you think some of those nerves, the tension, had to do with the man at the other end?
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt about that. You know, this guy's given me so much confidence and so much help, and you know, he's one of the main reasons why I'm standing here now.
Pat, come on over. Good match tonight. Tough for you two to go out there and try and beat Leighton when he's trying to become the #1 in the world.
Yeah, it is, but you know, we've got to go out there and we've got to put in our best effort all the time. I've got one positive, I think, out of this, besides Leighton being #1, it's a very big positive, but the arm seemed to settle down a little bit at the end. I started hitting my serve a little bit harder. I just hope that that's a good sign, so I'm going to see what I'll wake up tomorrow and give it a go. It's sort of... It's been really tough this week playing with an injury, and it's hard getting in a good mental frame, and today was no exception. And then I felt like I was hitting the ball well, and then as the match went on, the arm felt better and better. So I'm going to try and hit out the next few days, and I hope it comes good.
That's great news. Now, you've been where Leighton is now. You've helped him a lot to where he is. Got any advice?
He's a stubborn little mongrel, so I didn't give him any advice. He's a good little fellow. He's a good mate. He's an incredible Davis Cup team member, the best Australia's seen for a long, long time. He's he's a good friend, and he's the #1. So well done, mate.
Well done, Leighton, but there's a tournament still to go, and I guess you've got to settle down and focus on that too.
Yeah, I've got to try to now. You know, some big matches ahead of me, the semi-final here and hopefully a final, and then obviously in a couple of weeks' time, the Davis Cup final. So, you know, for me, it doesn't get much bigger. You know, the last 3 or 4 months have been unbelievable, but the next month's going to hopefully be even better. So, you know, hopefully we can continue the winning form and you know, head to Melbourne.
Well, enjoy the moment. Leighton Hewitt, world #1.
What a fantastic effort, and accolades for both players, as Mark Miles, the CEO of the ATP Tour